and welcome to all the curious brains out there. This is Anusaya, and in this video we are going to explore one of the most fascinating scientific theory. So without any further delay, let's begin. As we all know that in this universe at every point of time different kind of fields are present everywhere which we cannot see, like electron field, gravitational field, etc. As energy is transferred to these fields, particles are formed, and when we extract the same energy, those particles get destroyed. For example, if energy is provided to the electron field, then electrons will be formed. In this similar way, different kind of fields produce their respective particles. These fields also keep on interacting with each other. In 1964, Peter Higgs proposed the idea of a similar field called the Higgs field that is present everywhere in this universe. When we provide energy to this field, particles called Higgs boson are formed. He believed that all other elementary particles are massless, just like the photons, but the Higgs field is responsible for providing them with their respective masses. Now, you may be thinking how this process actually takes place. So, let us try to understand how this process or the Higgs mechanism actually works. All the particles before entering the Higgs field are massless. This means that no matter a proton or an electron, all are massless before interacting with this field. But as soon as they enter in the Higgs field, because of their interaction, they gain masses. The more a particle interact with the Higgs field, the more will be the mass. Photons interact very less with the field, thus they remain massless. Peter Higgs published his theory with the mathematical equations in a famous physics journal, but his theory was denied at that time. Not because his mathematical equations were wrong, but because it was hard to believe that invisible fields can also provide mass to the particles. But Higgs did not lose his hope. He published his theory in many other physics journals. This theory was convincing to the physicists who understood it deeply. Thus, later on, this theory got much support. Up to that time, physicists were believing the existence of Higgs field on the basis of the mathematical equations, but equations are just not enough to prove it. Therefore, preparations were made to detect this field experimentally, and this led to the construction of the biggest machine in this world known as the Large Hadron Collider. But the next problem was how to detect Higgs field as it is invisible. Math helped us out in this problem. It said that if Higgs field is present everywhere, then if we collide two charged particles in a small space with great velocity, then the collision should make some disturbance in the Higgs field, similar to the disturbance created in the water when two boats collide with each other. This disturbance in the Higgs field will give birth to the Higgs boson particle, which we can detect. This means that if we become successful in detecting the Higgs boson particle, then this will answer all the questions related to the existence of Higgs field. With this idea, the collision of charged particles started in the Large Hadron Collider with a speed that was 99.9% of the speed of light, and the search for the decay pattern started that should be similar to the decay pattern of the Higgs boson according to the mathematical equations. For many years, physicists kept on experimenting, but they were not getting satisfying results. The day was 4 July 2012 when CERN announced that they had successfully detected Higgs boson. This invention proved Peter Higgs' theory right, for which He was also awarded with the Nobel Prize in 2013. Many people believe that Higgs boson provides mass to the particle, but the truth is, Higgs field is responsible for this, not the Higgs boson particle. Now, you may be thinking why it is known as the God particle. Let me help you in getting the answer. We know that if Higgs field did not exist, then all elementary particles would have remained massless, and massless particles always travel with the speed of light. Because of traveling with such a great speed, no photons and neutrons nor the atoms would have ever formed, and the universe would not have existed. This is why it is called the God particle. But the way it got its name is quite more interesting. Actually, the incident dates back to the early 90s when a physicist named Leon Lederman wrote a book on this topic. He wanted to name his book The Goddamn Particle, but his publisher did not like this name, so he changed it to The God Particle. There was not a logic behind this, rather, it was just a good name for him. But media hyped this so much that the name God Particle became more famous than Higgs boson. So this was all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next video. Till then, keep on exploring.